We fell in love with the neighborhood, we loved the community, moved into Little Village in 2003 with my wife. Now my 4 kids, we all live here. And I think just seeing the beauty of the community, seeing the families, seeing the passion, eating a whole lot of amazing food. And I feel like I'm just as enriched, if not more, than what we do for our youth.
So I came to New Life Centers because I heard about it, and I was a full-time teacher and had my summer free. And I thought, why not just volunteer at New Life Centers all summer? Thought I was going to be giving so much to New Life Centers, and ended up leaving that summer feeling like I had not given anything at all, but only been filled up every day. It was a really powerful summer, and God just really drew my heart here, and I'm stuck now.
I thought I was alone. I didn't have nobody to open up to, and then I came here and I'm like, I'm not alone, and all the stuff that's going on with me, like, I could share it with somebody else.
From having mentors, I've learned a lot. They've taught me how to value my family, how to value myself. They've also helped me out, like when I'm going through stuff, they would always pick me up, take me out. So they were always there with me. You learn that you're not by yourself, and that's one thing that I learned from having a mentor, that you could always count on them, and they're there to help you out.
I think something that I really love about New Life Centers is that we're able to actively see our youth transform from coming the first day and not really knowing anyone, and coming with their struggles and their difficulties, and then getting to walk alongside them while they're here, and be able to see God change their hearts and their minds.
Due to the fact that I was so young, I think I would probably ended up in jail, or probably even like dead right now because of my decisions that I was making back then.
For me, I think my faith drives me quite a bit. So knowing and trusting in the hope of Jesus and being able to share that with others, and then just realizing the beauty that we have in community. And so we've had a lot of ups and downs over the years. We've really been through a lot.
Some of the biggest challenges are finding mentors, finding people to walk alongside the youth in our community, finding those who have the time and availability to just be present.
What I see out here is obviously a cycle. 40, 50 year war between 2 gangs in Little Village. How do I tell a certain person, hey, stay away from your uncle and your father? This is not only something that these guys are doing for fun, but this is a lifestyle. This is what they're born into. Fathers who had children when they were 16 years old, and now they're in their 30s and are still out in the streets, still affiliated, and their sons are now 16, 17 years old, and growing up, you look up to your father, you look up to your uncles, you look up to your big brothers, and what they're doing, you're gonna want to do.
June 2011 was when we lost our first youth. David Lopez was a dear youth. He was one of our first youth, and I remember when he was stabbed to death. It was my first funeral I ever did. Finished the funeral and really spent about a week thinking, why do we do what we do? Are we making any difference? Is there hope? And we sat there and we prayed and we reflected, and we were being asked if we would switch our model, if we'd go into the schools a bit more, if we'd work with, instead of 1 mentor to 10 kids, 1 mentor to 25 kids, instead of being over here in the church, being in the school. And we thought about it, we prayed about it, and we said, you know what, we're not gonna change who we are for money. We're gonna do exactly what we feel God has called us to do. And it was tough. We had to lay staff off. And there was about a 6-month period where we just did a lot of praying, a lot of soul searching. And it was 6 months later that God provided new resources to continue the work. And so in that moment, we started actually mentoring younger youth, prevention youth, really 5th to 9th graders, walking with them, trying to go further up the pipeline so they wouldn't join gangs, they wouldn't turn to the streets.
We're doing a lot of work and we're doing a lot of good, godly work, but without, I feel like the God moving, the Spirit of God moving inside of their hearts, nothing's really going to change until God moves.
And so it's the idea of how do we share the hope of the gospel, because without it, this work means nothing, but also life together. So it's not just preaching not just coming at them through just words, but really showing them and walking with our youth, life on life.
They're the ones that are showing us, the hope of God and how He can radically transform somebody's life and take somebody from darkness into light. And they're teaching us, about patience and about long suffering and challenges and how God gives you perseverance through that. So I think that's one reason why people should get involved, because it really broadens your perspective of who God is.
And this is a place of refuge for them. It's a place of safety. They learn from their mistakes. We do a lot of problem solving here. And all of the problem solving always ends with forgiveness.
We're 10 years in. We're proud. In 2016, we were awarded the top mentoring program in the state of Illinois. And this year, we're really excited and praying about a few things in the future. 3 things we're really focusing on for the future. One is, how do we create an emergency fund to be able to provide for families and youth who are impacted by violence, so we can walk with them, care for them, or if they're in need of something, be able to have that resource. A second thing is really training local leaders from the neighborhood, walking with them. And then the final thing we want to do is really grow and expand. This past year, we expanded to our Humble Park location. And toward the end of this year and into 2018, we'll be expanding to our Midway location and continuing to see how we can raise really places of hope where churches across the city are opening their doors for youth in need, are walking with them, are mentoring them. So we're excited for that.